Again this week, we've been hearing a lot about science. Yeah, we heard about science when it came to climate change, and you can't help but wonder whether all of these lockdowns that we've been going through is now softening us up for some other crisis somewhere around the corner involving climate change and all of that rubbish. And poor old Greta will come back and she'll be on some sort of world discovery tour, Skyping us with all of her logic and knowledge in the weeks and months and years ahead. But time shall tell. But the science that's really being used to drive this lockdown over this coronavirus, or as Donald Trump called it this week, the China virus, is the science of psephology, not medicine. Psephology is the study of polls. It's the study of the way politics is recorded and measures your intentions about things that are of concern to you. And psephology, that is the science that is driving so much of the decision-taking that's occurring right around all the various states of Australia and affecting you and I in so many different ways. You don't even need to live in Victoria to be affected by what's happening in Victoria, and likewise in Queensland. Now, the difference between psephologists and, say, doctors, well, doctors subscribe to the concept of do no harm. But politicians, well, they subscribe too often to the idea of whatever it takes. Now, today we've seen yet again another example of a complete lack of disclosure from a Victorian government that has, by their own hand, by their own failures, effectively killed over 700 people. That's how many people have died since this so-called second wave, or was it a continuation of the first wave of this coronavirus impacted on that city? 700 people. It's a disgrace that nobody in the Victorian government actually wants to tell you how it was they came around to completely foul this thing up so badly. Now, doctors, this is the other difference between psephologists, politicians, and doctors, is doctors will tell you what's actually killing you. It seems the political types don't want you to know. Politics seems to want to create this sense of fear, and it's all about creating compliance. It's all about controlling you and me. But doctors would like you to remain calm if you're unwell, because they know that stress kills. But politicians, well, they're peddling stress and are getting their spin doctors to peddle stress through so many people in the media who don't seem to be asking the big questions that need to be asked. And frankly, we should now be very satisfied that we have been lied to. I've tidied up what I really think. Leaders in Victoria and in New Zealand, in Western Australia and Queensland have been keeping more eyes on the psephology and not on the medicine. That's the science they're following. And I guess if Victoria was in fact a TV show, it wouldn't be Survivor. It may be called Dantasy Island, but the hotel quarantine fiasco suggests it may well be called Blind Date. But either way, Victoria now is the weakest link dragging down the whole of our nation, and Queensland, frankly, is close behind. I don't want to say anything bad about Western Australia because the West Australian Premier will probably reach for taxpayers' dollars to sue me. Victoria is dragging the economy down right now by tens of billions of dollars. Tens of billions. Queensland has the highest unemployment, has no state budget. So in other words, the government here in Queensland has absolutely no idea about what's actually happening economically. And both are right now mired in complete scandals of systemic corruption. Now, what I mean by systemic corruption, I've been saying it for some time, is those in power not knowing that what they are doing is actually wrong. That's what the problem is. They don't realise that what they're doing is wrong. They're the good guys. We're the bad guys. Anybody criticising them, we're on the wrong side of history. All of that sort of rubbish. These arrogant leaders don't realise that what they're doing is so wrong, that they're hurting so many people. They seem to not care. And they just seem to think that we're all very, very lucky that they've been available to serve, that they are currently in charge. Keen to know what you think. Hashtag Hardgrave. You can email me directly, gary.hardgrave@skynews.com.au.